Forever. Dog.
You ever have a pickle? You ever have a pickleback?
No, I know what that is, and I've never had one. You mean like
you take a shot of something and then you take a shot of pickle juice?
Yeah, you take a shot of whiskey and then you follow it up with a shot of pickle juice traditionally.
Heaven.
Yeah.
Heaven.
It's great.
Drink that.
Well, one thing I'm excited, Julie, is that you're bringing pickle back. You're bringing pickle back. Oh, Julie. How are you, Lee? Welcome to Double Threat.
We're starting here. This is our energy level.
This is where we start.
This is where we begin.
No, that is.
Come on, let's do some crazy improv exercise to wake us, wake ourselves up. Crazy eights.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
First word, last word. Zip, zap, zop.
Dingy.
Where are you? Give me a location.
In a Mall of America.
Okay, and you are a what?
Neo-Nazi.
There you go, and that's now you're looking for something. What are you looking for?
Scene. I'm looking for.
That's good. I like that. I kind of like that. That's.
Oh, okay.
What if it was just improv but no improv, like improv without improv, where you build the thing and then you just never do anything with it?
Well, I need you to repeat this because I'm writing this down. I know you wanted to send a letter to the people who run the pit because they're upset that they're closed. And I know that you wanted to send a letter written in your own blood.
Yes. That improv will come back. I am currently in negotiations with a few different business people. I cannot name their names, Mike Bloomberg. And we are going to set up a raft in the Hudson. And that is going to be my theater called The Raft. And it's an improv theater now that's outdoors. And you pay to improvise. We don't even make any bones about paying performers. You pay to be a part of it.
It's just the ferry. You're just taking.
We're worried about the ferry. The ferry, the wake from it kind of interrupts shows a little bit. Gets a little choppy out there when the boat goes right by.
I think if you just charge admission to the ferry, and you say it's an improv theater, I'll meet them on the ferry.
Well, we could do that. I'm really kind of married to this raft idea. I feel like
I'm married to this raft idea.
I feel like we can maybe take the ferry out and then just jump off and then swim over to the raft and then do some improv. And then like when you get on board the raft, suddenly we'll play like some kick-ass intro music and be like, ba-na-na, 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 na, 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 na. And then it'll be like,
what song is that?
Highway to Hell.
Right.
And then you're on it, and then you're on the raft, and you're wet, and then now you have to do improv and pay. You have to pay before I.
No. With that we're on the same page with. I was just gonna pitch that. You know those like little inflatable pools?
Oh, do I?
They seem like they should float.
You'd think, right?
Let's give it a shot.
Is that for the performers or for the audience?
Who cares?
Yeah. That's at their discretion. I like it. Double Threat Improv Theater, the DTIT.
I had hummus at the pit once.
I'm sorry. You had hummus at the pit.
This is for the oral history of the pit.
Yeah. Julie Klausner, I had hummus at the pit once. Wait, that's all she said? That's all she said.
That's all I have to say.
It's a 500-page book. And then they like go through the index in the back. Julie Klausner on page 342. It doesn't get flip over. I had hummus at the pit once.
I will just say, I'll say this about UCB. They didn't branch out into snacks. Thank God.
I wish that the seating at the pit was at more of an angle.
Right.
I wish that it was like a straight 90-degree angle. Like everybody would be stacked
like
upward.
climbing, like one of those climbing walls.
The seating was almost as drastic as a climbing wall, as if you went up a climbing wall and then turned around and watched a show.
What if there's a gym that's just climbing walls and the only music it plays is The Wall by Pink Floyd?
That'd be pretty good.
You think?
I'd like that.
You would?
Yeah. What if you went into a Walgreens and it was just a green wall you had to climb? And it's like, I need my prescription. I need my medicine. It's up there. It's up there, stupid. Go get it.
That's where they're going to keep the vaccines.
Yeah. I was supposed to get the vaccine at
help
11:30
yourself.
this morning. Oh, absolutely.
No,
there's
help
a shot.
yourself.
It's waiting up there.
Be my guest.
And there's just a needle sticking out of the wall, and you have to kind of like put your butt on it and like
The
inject
needle is
yourself.
one of the thingies like sticking out that you have to grab.
You idiot, that was the second shot. I feel like this Ted Cruz is getting a bum rap. So he took his family
he's your
on
buddy.
a vacation. He took his family on a vacation during the middle of his state.
He was a good dad.
Dying. His state was dying, and then he blamed his children for the vacation that he planned.
My favorite thing about, I mean, there's a lot of favorite things about this story, but I like that his wife like has no friends. Like none of them responded to that text chain.
They didn't
and
respond.
2 of them ratted her out to the New York Times.
They didn't respond.
No.
Imagine you're the spouse of a senator. So like all this power, you figure people would have to even just be like, I can't stand these two, but he's a senator and I got to just act like I'm friends with. They're like, people are just done even pretending like they're friends with this guy.
Yeah. And I also will say, like, she was like, hey, rooms are cheap. And it's like, are you inviting me? Are you going to pay for my room? Because if you're not, like, fuck off. She's like, hey, let's do a little girls trip. It's like, unless you're paying, it's not a girls trip, bitch.
Yeah, it's really...
I'm freezing, all caps.
He is one of the most fascinatingly weird humans on the planet.
Obsessed.
He wants... Remember when he was doing like Simpsons impressions?
Oh, can we pull that up now, Brett,
Yes, please.
Because I don't think enough people know about... There's that, and then there's also the video of like him trying to film a campaign ad with his family, and you could see how much his family hates him.
And the daughter, he's like tries to kiss
one?
his daughter, and his daughter's like...
No.
like pulls away violently, pulling away. He's like, give me a kiss. And she's like,
he has no shame. It's amazing. Yeah. It's amazing how like how unable he is to read any room.
Ted has a great sense of humor. He loves to tell jokes. He and Caroline, our 8-year-old, go back and forth, and they're the only 2 people in the family that think the jokes are funny. But they are from the 8-year-old joke book. And so Ted has another thing I love about Ted is he has a great sense of humor. And so he is given to impressions, and a couple of them are quite good.
Well, let's take a look. No. Let's take a look.
This is on Good Morning America.
Right here.
Smithers, release the hounds. Excellent. Idly ho, neighbor. Oakley dokley, neighborino. But Dad, I'm a vegetarian. I don't eat eggs.
Hold on a second.
Can you pause that,
These are not impressions. These are
the one with
these are dialogue recitations.
But at no point does Lisa ever say, "But Dad, I'm a vegetarian."
But Dad, idly ho, neighbor. But Dad, I'm a vegetarian. Doe. Like it's all this literally the same voice. It's his voice.
Keep going.
Animals are so delicious. There's the animal we get bacon from, the animal we get ham from, the animal we get sausage from. Dad, that's all the same animal. Oh, sure, Lisa. A magic animal that all the wonderful foods come from.
This is...
Forward.
It's one of the greatest things that's ever happened. is that this guy, when you
it wasn't like
you think about politics and how much vetting and overthinking goes on, and that he was like, should I do the impressions? You think that'll make me seem relatable? And they're like, let's hear him. And he does them. And then they're just like, absolutely. Ted.
Well, yeah, it's not like this is a creep shot. Like, it's in a studio, it's lit. People besides him knew this was happening.
Yeah. I do want to hear his Kang the Conqueror, though.
Upwards, not downwards, and always twirling for freedom.
Something we saw on BuzzFeed. We thought we'd share with the masses. So what's your favorite impression that he does?
I think the Simpsons and Lisa, being a vegetarian from California, having my meat-eating Latin Texan husband explain the many sources of good food, we have a family debate going.
They stopped saying that, didn't they?
Yeah.
He stopped using that qualifier at some point.
Oh my God.
Didn't he?
He is.
I'm surprised he hasn't changed his spelling to like Tom Cruise at this point.
Now I'm going to do my impression of Bill Murray from Caddyshack. It's in the hole.
It's in the hole.
It's in the hole.
It's in the hole.
It's a Cinderella story.
It's a Cinderella story.
It's like somebody finally pulls him aside, like, Ted,
Yes.
these are not impressions. You're just
Yes, they are.
you're just saying the lines from the thing in your regular voice.
No, I'm not.
You're not. I don't know if you're going to want to hear this or not. You're doing a very good Ted Cruz impression. I think.
Thank you.
That is so like you hit the thing with it. Say, listen, Hellboy.
Listen, Hellboy. I liked it when he was like, if I had to do it over again, would I know?
Look, was it tone deaf? Maybe. I'm just trying to be a good dad.
You know, when your daughters are like, please, Dad, which never happened. Never, ever did that happen. His wife texted people she thought were her friends.
Yeah, please, Dad, can we go to Cabo?
Papa, I'm ever so cold. Do you know what would just simply hit the spot, Papa?
Papa, can
A
you
trip to
fly
Cabo.
me? Papa, can you fly me to Cabo?
Cabo. If
Heidi, the kids really want to go to Cabo. I got to be here for my constituents.
Yeah.
But I also got to be a good dad. What do I do?
When I was on the plane, I was thinking to myself, maybe this isn't such a
You think? You think all the people taking pictures of you at the airport and laughing and saying gotcha, what didn't tell you that it was a bad sign then?
And I will bet that, like, I mean, of all the times Trump has been losing his mind, not being able to tweet, I'll bet that one. Well, actually, maybe he would have been conflicted because Ted Cruz and what's his name, Hawley, are like the only people that went to bat for him. But at the same time, you picture him being like, what a fat loser, or just like he and his ugly wife or just something.
Yeah. But that has not stopped him before. He turns on.
He doesn't care if he's on his side or not.
You could go to bat for him 999 times in a row. And there's one time when you are your own person. And then that's the time when he acts like you've never, ever been on his side.
Right.
Then he starts saying that your dad was a part of the JFK assassination.
He said that.
But Ted Cruz?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Trump inferred that Ted Cruz's father assassinated John F. Kennedy.
Like that guy said, if he had his son's genes, there's no way that guy is smart enough to be in the right place at the right time.
Dad, are you on the grassy knoll? Son, where's my hobo outfit? Where'd I put my hobo outfit?
I left it at home.
I told you not to play with my hobo outfit. I need
Dad,
it. I gotta shoot Kennedy today. I gotta dress up like a train yard hobo.
Dad, you want to hear my Marlon Brando impression?
Okay, let's hear it.
Stella!
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Thanks, Dad.
Now, where's my old can of beans that I need to look like a hobo?
I flushed it down the toilet.
God damn it. You flushed my can of beans? You flushed the actual can or the beans?
The can.
And now look, and now on the table, the beans are on the table. You took the beans out of the can, poured them on the table, and flushed the can.
Yeah, was that bad?
Actually, it makes you're definitely a cruise. And Julie, we've had an exciting week here over at Double Threat HQ, haven't we?
Oh, absolutely. It's not at all just me staring at the snow.
There was a contest we did, the Double Threat Erotic Fiction Contest. And boy, oh boy, was that something else.
And Brett, do you have the results of the vote? And were they close?
It was pretty close. It was pretty close. The winner ended up being definitive because there were enough votes that she started to get a definitive lead, but it was very close early on. So this was very exciting. A lot of people voting for this. And the winner, the grand prize winner of the T Public Presents Double Threat Erotic Fan Fiction Challenge presented by T Public.
It's my vibrator. It's my vibrator.
The Visit by Grace. The Visit.
Congratulations, Grace.
That's the one where the Hecker's Flower representative comes over.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
that one was good.
So congratulations, Grace. We'll reach out to you to get you that TeePublic merch package and $100 to the charity of your choice. And I also put a question on there that said, should we do this again next year? And 85% of people said that we should. 85% said yes.
I don't care.
It could have been 105% of the people said do it again.
No,
it's
not happening. It could be a law that we'd have to do it. I don't care.
Yeah.
Just an interesting number there. 85%.
Sure.
Strongly in favor of us doing it.
There's only one number that matters to me, and the number 2, and it's me and Tom. It makes 2.
That's exactly it. Our votes count for 50% each, and 100% of the people said no, never do it again.
No.
And plus the 15 that said don't do it again, that's 115%.
Yeah.
Said never do this again. So
yeah.
It's one of those things. It's like Halley's Comet. It came, it went. If you were here in your lifetime and saw it, good on you. If you missed it, you can go catch up and go into the past to catch up. There's not another one coming anytime soon.
Well, congratulations, Grace. You were the one and only, the all-time only winner of the Double Threat Erotic Fan Fiction Challenge.
Grace, you did a good job. It was a very lofty premise that Heckers would literally ring someone's doorbell to be...
Yes.
that would be in their jurisdiction.
Now, did any of the stories make you feel sad, Brett?
Sad? Oh, sure. Yeah, quite a few.
Without going into too much detail, well, just give us one image that made you sad or just really rattled you.
Well, it's not what you might expect. There was. Well, first I want to clarify. Tom and Julia, I have infinite respect for you. You are tremendous.
That's a disclaimer, Tom. That's what someone says when they're about to hurt your feelings.
Oh, this is a big one.
You are my superiors in every sense of the word.
It's getting worse.
However, you are not my bosses in any literal sense, and there were multiple stories in which you were just my boss, and I'm just.
Yeah, I've never thought that we were ever anybody was ranked above anybody ever in this thing, and now people write to me like, Brett, you loser, you're working.
Wait, what do you
boss
mean,
slash personal assistant, like I'm running errands off the show. I truly don't. Honestly, that was way more disturbing than the sex stuff. I was like, I got this sense of how people view me. And
that is the most telling. That is the most telling thing that.
Oh my god!
That's what moved the needle for you. Was like, I'm not their goddamn employee. You picture Brett reading these things, being like, "Go get me this, go get me that." Who do they think I am? Meanwhile, he's reading another one where it's him making out with the crypt keeper. He has no problem with that, and he's upset that I'm saying, "Go get my car." Like that's what's truly got him up at night.
Like Julie was disappointed. Like, I can replace you, she said. I've got a stack of resumes and I'm the boss, as you know. But Grimace wouldn't hear of it.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Meanwhile, he's giving Grimace a sponge bath, and he's perfectly fine with that. And congratulations to Grace. You did it, and you're going to get a fun, in addition to the glory of being the contest winner, you are going to get an amazing package from TeePublic.
So, Tom, we have a very exciting guest this week. We have the fellas from the George Lucas Talk Show are here.
Yes, the very talented cast of the George Lucas Talk Show, which it takes place every Sunday over on Twitch. And
yes.
it's a highlight of my week and many other people's weeks, and it's one of the funniest shows going.
And so we have the three, I'd say, hosts of it here, and we figured, I don't know, like Tom, you're always saying something looks easy. You're always saying like, hey, that magician who cries, I could do what he's doing, or that figure skater, like he don't got nothing on me. I could do a friggin' triple axel rose, you say?
Yeah, I could do a triple axel rose. Some of the easy things I can do that people claim are hard: skateboarding, fist fighting, ice skating, juggling, acting, stand-up comedy, firefighting. Not going in the building. Look, going in the building.
Fire starting, fire swallowing.
Going in the building, that looks hard. I'll admit that.
Fire thinking about.
Aiming the hose at a building? Is that really that hard?
No.
Where should we aim the hose? Oh, at the
building,
fire.
At the building.
What should we do? Should we turn the water on? Yes. Should we aim the hose at the building? Yes.
Tom,
okay.
You know dang well you're holding that hose. The hose goes on. You know dang well you're going to be blasted behind.
It's me and six other, but that's why I got my six other buddies and old Rusty, the firehouse
the
dog.
Dalmatian.
Yeah. Rusty, go get me a ham sandwich. Rusty comes back with just some crust.
Fan fiction with that where Brett plays Rusty. Better be careful.
Yeah. The first annual Brett and Rusty, the firehouse dog fan fiction contest.
Keep those submissions coming in to doublethreatpod@gmail.com.
I gotta say, though, the only people that like chili more than our pals in Terralingua or Firemen, I feel like they're always cooking and eating chili. Am I crazy?
Down at the firehouse, they love chili, they love Dalmatians, and they apparently love calendars. There seems to be a real love of the making and manufacturing of calendars for charity purposes.
Yeah, I think they're like, wait, is it Monday the 21st?
Guys, we can't keep track of what day it is. Let's take our shirts off, have a photo session.
I think it'll relax us.
Yeah, let's all take our shirts off. Let's get 12 of us here. We'll take our shirts off, oil up, take some pictures, make a calendar. Then everybody will keep track of the days.
I guess so.
Hey, Chief, should we put Rusty in one of the shots?
No!
No, Rusty's in the firehouse dog calendar, you idiot.
I feel like Chief is stirring the chili while this is happening.
Yeah, with the old stogie hanging out over the chili pot.
When they were like posing for their calendar, like there was a 7-alarm fire across town that they all had to quickly.
God. Could you imagine that? And what if, Julie, now just imagine this. Thunder from Down Under are doing a show. There's a fire at the venue. Meanwhile, the firehouse, they're getting ready for the photo shoot. They're all oiled up. They got their suspenders on, but no shirts. Just fire hat, suspenders, and they're all oily.
Big pants.
And the big pants. And then ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling, they got to go put the fire out.
Uh-huh.
They're all oily. At the very least, that hose is going to be slipping and sliding all over the place.
Yeah, and at the very worst, they're oily from gasoline.
They're oily from gasoline. And now you've got a fire. You've got a male strip club.
Orphanage is on fire, by the way.
Burning. So the Thunder from Down Under are performing for orphans?
No, the orphanage is on fire.
Okay. I thought the club that featured Thunder from Down Under.
They are performing for orphans. It's a matinee. They're just doing like a story time hour. So the good news is there's no orphans in the orphanage.
No,
and the
they're
bad
not there.
news is that it's a city landmark.
Yes, it's a historical preservation site. So then the oily firemen show up and have to rescue the Thunder from Down Under guys who are like screaming from a window saying like, get us out of here, help. And they rescue, and then and then that's next year's calendar. If somebody there was snapping pictures, that would be next year's calendar.
Action shots of real firefighters rescuing fake ones?
Of them just like carrying hunks over their shoulder with the firemen carry to get them out to safety.
That's so hot. Fake firemen rescuing. Wait, I mean, real firemen rescuing fake firemen?
Oily, shirtless, real firemen rescuing oily, shirtless, fake firemen.
But like in Candids.
In Candids, yes. Well, I think we wrote next year's calendar. Maybe we get into the calendar writing business.
Anyway, Tom always likes to say how he could do things better than other people. So even though he has so much admiration in his heart for the George Lucas talk show, he told me, and he's been talking trash, and he's been saying, we could do that. We could do what they do.
Mm-hmm. But we're not going to just do what they do. We're going to do what we do.
Yeah, but we're kind of going to do what they do.
Yeah, no, we're pretty much doing what they do. But we're changing it a millimeter and claiming that it's a completely original idea.
Right. And also, we don't know a lot about what we're about to do in the way that those guys seem to know a lot about Star Wars.
They are students and fans of what they're doing. Yeah. We are neither for what we are about to do.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's what shows if we do it and we do it right, then that's a sign of true greatness.
True greatness.
I have all the confidence in the world in you guys. I think you're going to do a great job. Mm-hmm. And when we get back from the break here, we're going to have the George Lucas Talk Show guys here for the world premiere of the Nancy Meyers Talk Show right after this.
Hey, this is Gabe Gonzalez, and I host the brand new podcast, Queerty.
And this is Alex Berg, and I host the brand new podcast, LGBTQ Nation.
Two brand new podcasts made lovingly just for you.
On Thursdays, I sit down with the best LGBTQ journalists, activists, and politicians to discuss the most pressing topics in the community.
And on Fridays, I end each messy week right by sitting down with the funniest, smartest, and sexiest people in the world to talk pop culture, entertainment, news, and more.
LGBTQ Nation and Queerty, politics, and pop culture.
On Thursdays, you cry. On Fridays, you laugh.
No, it's not all sad. We have some good news on Thursdays.
Okay, like what am I talking about? These days you can cry every day of the week.
Listen to both shows and get to know everything you need to know.
You're already holding your phone, so subscribe to Queerty and LGBTQ Nation today on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Only on Forever Dog.
I don't know about you Double Threat listeners, but I feel like I am always looking at a screen these days, now more than ever. And even though I can admit that, turning off the screens is easier said than done because all the content we consume, whether for work or for entertainment, seems to come to us through a screen. All content, that is, except for audio content. So what I've been doing a couple times a week to get away from the screens is I'll go outside, I'll find a nice, shady, isolated spot, and I'll bring along my Raycon wireless earbuds. It's truly a relaxing time for my eyes and for my general mood, and I'll listen to an audiobook, I'll listen to the newest episode of Double Threat to make sure I didn't screw anything up, I'll listen to some music. My Raycon-sponsored outdoor time has become an indispensable part of my week, and I highly recommend it. And hey, try it for your next Zoom call. Turn off your video, pop in your Raycons, and give your eyes a rest. Try it for a dialogue-heavy movie and imagine that you're living in the golden age of radio. There are so many fun options for taking a break with your Raycons, and those are just a couple. Raycons are built to perform anywhere and anytime with water and sweat-resistant construction and Bluetooth that pairs quickly and seamlessly. No dangling wires or stems to get in the way here. Raycons come in a range of stylish colorways, but always with a comfortable in-ear fit for a more discreet look. And with enough battery life for 6 hours of playtime, well, you can stay outside for all 6 hours. And the best part, Raycon makes great sound accessible to everyone with wireless earbuds starting at half the price of other premium audio brands, and we all know who Raycon's talking about. No need to put any more cash in those coffers. Come on over to Raycon. And guess what? Raycon is right now offering 15% off all their products for Double Threat listeners. Here's what you do. You go to buyraycon.com/TomandJulie. That's it. Go to buyraycon.com/TomandJulie. You'll get 15% off your entire Raycon order. So, hey, grab one for a friend, for a family member, for your boss. That's 15% off at buyraycon.com/TomandJulie. Thanks, Raycon.
We are here with the George Lucas Talk Show trio.
Very exciting.
Real low energy.
Well, this bit
This is
number
not
one.
going well.
Bit number one, and it's going great.
Yeah.
Nonverbal, low energy. What else?
Brett, keep track of the bits today, please.
Yeah, I got a counter
Yeah.
going.
And
Is that one or is that
sub-bits.
half of one? Or what
No,
was
that's
it?
a bit, and then we'll
Okay.
see if there's a bit.
Didn't seem fully realized, but I guess we'll give that a 1.
That's a bit, and then at the end, Patrick will have donated $10 per bit to a charity
Yes.
of our choice.
Yeah, we could do that, sure.
I feel like his sarcasm's a bit, Tom.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I think it's a bit
no.
annoying.
Question number 1. Why aren't I in that Julie thing that you guys do where it's friggin' Julie Bowen is in it?
Yeah.
All these Julies except for yours, Julie.
Except for the only Julie.
What the heck? Well, it's not the only one because Patrick's mother, blah, blah, blah.
No, but look, technically she should be saying mommy. You don't call your mom by her first name. That's weird.
Yeah, why isn't it the mommy jamboree?
Yeah.
We could call it the Mommy Jamboree. We could change that.
No.
We could change all the mommies on it. I mean, I'll let Connor or Griffin handle that one. I don't want to touch that one.
I mean, Bryson is the one who handles the bumpers generally. We try not to
Passing
get
the
in.
buck.
Do people who are listening to this have any idea what we're talking about in terms of what the George Lucas Talk Show is?
Yeah, we haven't gotten any
Will
introduction,
this make
guys.
sense?
We don't
Yeah,
care.
will this make any sense to anybody?
Don't worry about.
Don't
Well,
worry
it'll
about
make
it.
sense.
I'm not worried.
Don't worry your
Don't
pretty
worry.
little
Your
head
numbers
about
will
it.
go through the roof.
Okay.
Oh,
You'll get
okay,
the
but
double
what-
threat bump.
Let's introduce our guests. We have Patrick Cotnoir. Welcome
Hi,
to
guys.
Double Threat.
Thanks so much.
Hi, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
Connor Ratliff is here, obviously. Hello, Connor.
Hello.
And Griffin Newman
Hello.
is with us today.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
and
this-
Tom, you talk now.
and I'm here also, and I want to welcome Julie Klausner to the show also.
Oh, thank you. And I want to welcome Brett to the show.
Oh, thanks. Glad to be here.
And Brett, is there anyone you want to welcome to the show?
Well, I'd like to welcome our.
Brett looks like
Say
an
Tom.
he
Say
looks like an
Tom.
evil
Say
record
Tom.
producer.
I know.
He looks like a guy who'd be like,
Take your top off.
"Yeah, if you want to get a hit,
You want to
take
get
your
anywhere in the
top off.
music industry, take your top off.
Get in the booth. You could give us a hit. Take that top off. We need to hear that in the music." Like that's what Brett looks.
Well, I was going to welcome Tom to the show, but I guess I'll welcome our premise to the show. I'll welcome our big premise.
Should
Which,
we just start it?
Yeah, let's just get into it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we and we will invite you guys, Patrick, Griffin, and Connor to get into character as your George
sure.
Lucas talk show persona characters for the big premise.
The tip of the tongue, the lips. The tip.
It might go a little something
the tongue.
like this.
When an
It's the Nancy Meyers Talk Show, starring the queen of show business, the queen of the box office with $1.6 billion to her name, the one and only Nancy Meyers, tonight's guests.
We love you, Nancy.
The stars of the George Lucas Talk Show. I'm Nick Marshall, the star of What Women Want. And without further ado, I know what the star of the show wants because I can read women's minds. And Nancy wants to start the show. So let's start the show. Please welcome Nancy Meyers.
Oh, thanks. Oh, my God. Oh, it's so great to be here. Oh, God. Wow.
How are you, Nancy?
Wow. I'm doing okay, Daddy.
I know. That's why I know it's you. I know you're doing okay. I can hear your thoughts.
I'm in Cabo. Patrick, we haven't. Sorry, Brett. Yeah. Can we move Patrick, please?
Yeah, let me just quickly mute Patrick.
Thank you.
He muted himself. He beat me to it.
Thank you. I'm joking, of course. I'm in Montauk with Carlin and Scarlett.
Nancy, how anything in the news that's striking your fancy?
Wow. You know I don't like anything fancy. Usually I just like a couple of stainless steel faucets, like a really nice roast chicken and a buttery Chardonnay. But what I did like reading about were these freaks that stormed the Capitol. I thought, something's got to give, all right. Democracy.
When I was watching that, I was saying, I know what women want, but I don't know what these maniacs want.
No, Daddy, you're so funny. Sorry, I keep forgetting you're not Daddy or Mumsy. Sometimes I think of Mama and what she'd be doing if she hadn't died on the Titanic. I think she'd like my movies. Do you like my movies?
Oh, I love your movies so much. Of course, I love What Women Want, the movie I starred in as an Nick Marshall, the ad executive who fell into a bathtub with a hairdryer after waxing my legs and wearing pantyhose and slipping on bath beads.
What I thought was funny was that you waxed your leg and it hurt a lot.
It did hurt because that's the kind of thing that a guy doesn't do. They just don't wax their legs. But it made me understand what women want.
Hey, Nick, do you have that Foster's Lager that you were going to drink that we both agreed about? Because I'm sipping on a buttery Chardonnay.
I have a Foster's Lager. And I'm going to become more Australian as this goes on.
I have a funny story.
Oh, that's the amber nectar.
One time I went to Paris.
It's a right ripper.
And I had the most outrageous roasted chicken. That's the story.
Great story, Nancy.
Nancy, let me see what you want to do next.
Uh-oh.
You want to bring on our guests.
Oh, he knew it. He knew it. I know that he'd know it, and he did. That's how I wrote the character.
Yeah. So let's bring these
Nick,
guests on.
At first, you weren't great at being an ad executive. By the end of the movie, you got the Nike account. Remember?
I got that Nike account because I said, she likes to run alone. No pressure, no stress. This is the one place she can be herself. Look any way she wants, dress, think any way she wants.
I love my writing.
No game playing. Just rules. No game playing, no rules. Sorry to mess your words up.
Yeah. No, I don't forgive you.
Oh.
Nancy and Nick are both taking gigantic sips from their drinks right now.
That's good stuff.
Oh, Daddy, you're such a riot. I'm thrilled to have these guests on that you mentioned, and
You didn't do the movie Foxcatcher, right?
I did not do Foxcatcher. I am going to read my filmography very briefly as soon as I... Okay. Private Benjamin, obviously, irreconcilable differences, protocol, jumping jack flash. I don't know exactly what writer.
Whoopee.
Baby boom, father of the bride, once upon a crime with Eugene Levy. Not a waste of time. I love trouble. Nick Nolte, what a charmer. What a if you needed to have a modern day Cary Grant. Father of the Bride Part 2, The Parent Trap, What Women Want, Something's Got to Give, The Holiday, It's Complicated, The Intern, and then, of course, Home Again with my daughter. So good at the internet. And then I think there's also something on my Wikipedia that says Father of the Bride Part 3, which is a reunion on Zoom. Anyway.
Well, most of your titles seem to be just random phrases.
Oh, yeah, they just come into my head.
It seems like you heard someone say it's complicated. And then you wrote a movie called It's Complicated.
I did. I was at a bistro and I ordered a French onion, ordered a, croque monsieur. And I said, this is the kind of jambon I want and so on. And the waiter said, this is complicated. And I said, shut the fuck up so I can write this down. And I did. And I cast Meryl Streep, and I, to my credit, made sure Alec Baldwin lost some weight for that role. I don't know if you know that, but I did tell him, lay off your wife's gazpacho for 10 minutes.
I think you told him that something's got to give, and it would be his waistline.
By the way, you can see how this is Yellowtail Screw Top, really the best of
That's the good stuff.
Niece. Oh, yeah.
Because I got over here the Amber Nectar Fosters.
Oh God, Nick, Nick, you are Nick, you're terrible.
That's not a knife.
Terrible.
That's not a knife.
I heard what you said about.
This is a knife.
For the listener at home, Nick is brandishing what appears to be a very real knife.
What are you drinking, Brat?
I've got a Cadillac margarita, and I'm drinking it out of this skull mug that I got in Las Vegas, which is a tribute to Nick,
Danny?
to both of you, really. To Nick, though, because I know that Nick's mother was from Las Vegas.
A showgirl.
Yeah, she was a Vegas showgirl.
Yeah, so it's a tribute to you, to your mother, to your wonderful mother, and to you, Nancy, for directing that great movie. You're both incredible.
It was my pleasure.
Now, Nancy, you don't get enough credit for basically inventing the superhero genre.
I don't.
That I was the first superhero.
You were. You had powers and a great bod. I remember those voicemails Mel Gibson left about Jews and how he could see his girlfriend's pussy from behind when she was wearing leggings.
You also seem to surround me with a fair amount of Jewish people in the movie.
I can't help it. I think they're funny.
I'm reading your mind right now. You're saying...
What am I thinking, Nick?
You're saying two things. One is that you wish there was a way you could get wine into your system faster than through your mouth.
That's for dang sure.
And the second thing is you want to bring on our guests.
I do want to bring on our guests. We had them come all the way from... I think they all live in Queens.
Outer space. I think they're all from outer space.
Fine. It's a real pleasure. I'm thrilled to host them. I'm a great host. I love entertaining. One time I made chocolate croissants at 3 a.m.
in an enormous kitchen.
Well, it's not that big.
The counters have counters.
Daddy.
Without further ado, George Lucas, Watto, and Patrick Cotnoir. Welcome to the Nancy Meyers Talk Show.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So,
I have to correct you, Nancy. You said you think all three of us live in Queens. I, of course, live in the Dakota.
Of course. Oh.
Right.
I live in the floor below Yoko.
Yeah. I think I'm the only one who actually lives in Queens.
Yeah. I live in Marin County at Skywalker Ranch.
Marin County's filth these days. COVID has changed it. It's basically Skid Row. I remember I used to go to Sausalito and I wouldn't have to look behind my, my shoulder every other moment and see, am I being followed by, someone who's like a cinematographer? And now I live in constant fear.
if you're walking through and some cinematographer comes up behind you and
Yeah.
says, "Give me your money," you say,
Yeah.
"That's not a knife.
I say it's all in Switzerland.
This is a
no, I
knife."
say, right, okay. I think, Nick, what I would love is if we kept the brandishing down to like 4, I'd say.
For what?
I know, I've got my own rules about comedy. I do the rule of 4.
The thing I like about the Nancy Meyers Talk Show is how many visual gags there are. I'm a big fan
Oh,
of that so
good.
far.
We were just about to ask you what you liked about it.
Well,
It's so
you weren't asking
important that
anything
the,
else, so I figured I would hop in with a thought.
It's so important that the guy who
Should I
scrubs
mute him
Thank
again?
you.
Just let me know if I should mute him
Thank you,
again.
Kangaroo Jack.
Yeah.
Just hopping in.
So important that the guy who scrubs George Lucas's toilet tells us what he thinks.
Now, Nick. Watto.
Yes.
What's your favorite one of my movies?
Oh, no question, it's The Intern.
Why?
Why? What isn't there to like about this movie? It is a film that shows that the generational gap is perhaps not as wide as we once thought.
Not
that
as wide.
the Zoomers and the Boomers can reach across the aisle and find
Yeah.
common ground.
Well said.
And that a man and a woman can be friends. Does not have to be romantic. That they can have a genuine, sincere, unconditional friendship of support.
That's something Nora didn't understand, and that's why I smothered her with a pillow, and now she's dead.
That's why she's dead.
And that's why you've made more money at the box office than anyone.
How much
'Cause I'm
money
at-
have I made again?
1.6 billion, but I'm adding the Marvel money on since you invented superhero movies.
Well, let's talk about that. By the way, Watto, thank you.
Of course.
I'm very proud of The Intern.
Can I just
Great
say
movie.
about The Intern?
Yeah.
It's one of these movies. It's like a horror movie without the horror. By all,
How
if
so?
everybody else would make that movie some weird old man getting involved in the life and hanging out with somebody and ingratiating themselves into the family, usually he'd start slashing the family up. But in this movie, don't kill no one. If I was in a situation like that with my family and someone came in and started messing around, you know what I'd say?
What?
That's not a knife.
It's number 3, I bet.
And then I just let that be the threat because I don't want to use the third one yet.
Oh.
Well, I think in a way, The Intern is a horror film. It just has to do with the fact that we are mortal and we don't have very much time on this in this life. And so even though retirement
Hold up,
isn't all
Debbie Dowder. I've got a question for you.
all right.
I shot Parent Trap with motion control technology, according to my Wikipedia.
Incredible.
Right.
So
Yeah,
that
you're welcome.
Lindsay, she was she's a sweet little dear at the time. She could play twins.
Now, there were 2 of them. Who played the other one?
She played both. It was like Army Hammer without the you-know-what.
Flesh eating?
Talent. So, George, we both used computers. What do you think of that?
Well, we sort of revolutionized the motion control cameras on 4. So I think that probably paved the way for you to be able to make that movie. I don't think you'd be able to make that without the kind of.
Thank you.
Well, I want to thank you because one of your early films had a big influence on me.
Irreconcilable differences?
Well, to a certain extent, in that all films are about family, but the one that I'm
Thanks, baby.
specifically thinking about is Private Benjamin.
I wrote that with my
Which-
ex-husband.
Right.
I'm divorced,
also-
you know.
I'm divorced. Yeah, I'm divorced too. And but I'm remarried happily. You
were doing the old rumpo pumpo there with Linda Ronstadt, right?
Correct.
What's that like?
Private. It was good, but Private Benjamin, a film about someone.
I prefer Carly Simon. Sorry, go ahead.
Private Benjamin, a film about someone who doesn't seem like they should be in the military for comedic to a comedic extent, and then they end up being something of a hero. And I remember seeing that movie and thinking, I have to do my own spin on this, which ultimately that's what Jar Jar Binks ended up being. Someone who shouldn't, seemingly has no business being in the military, is having a hard time of it, but in the end becomes a hero.
Wow. Patrick, what do you do?
It's a great question. Nancy, I have a question for you. Can I ask you a question?
Not on this show. You answer the question first, mate.
I answer. What do I do? What do you want me to say? You got to.
I said, what do you do? You answer first. Nick's going to get mad.
I got a question about a question. I got a question for you.
Money will leave you a voicemail. It will have words you will not repeat.
I'm sort of the Brett of the George Lucas talk show, Nancy.
Well.
What?
Sort of.
I'm sort of the...
You are. I don't understand why you're not saying your title.
Toilet boy.
What am I? I'm the talent booker. I'm the producer. What do you want me to say?
Producer.
Toilet boy.
Producer.
Get your brush, boy.
Whatever they need at this point.
I call it the loo.
I'm actually not sure that, back when we used to do the show at UCB, Patrick was more of a hands-on producer. I would fly to New York, do the show, and head back to Skywalker Ranch. But since COVID, Patrick hasn't been...
That place went tits up, right?
Yeah. Well, and Pit's up now if you follow the news because
we already covered that at greater length you'd expect for a international podcast.
That's not a pit.
What was your question, Patrick?
Oh, I wanted to. You worked on the first episode of The Price is Right. You were a production assistant.
Yes, that's I got my start. I went to.
How was that? What was that like?
It was boring. There were all these people in the audience that wanted money. It was just so gauche, It just wasn't very classy. One woman had no brassiere. She was wearing a tank top.
We should add The Price is Right money to your grosses.
You're right. I should.
And Jar Jar Binks residuals, apparently.
Listen.
Well, then I get the Parent Trap money because she wouldn't have been able to make that film without it. So for every time you do that, I'll do it right back, Brett.
You know what the Parent Trap is really about? It's about having a famous mom and writing something really fun on Instagram. And then, someone will say like, you go girl. And then someone else will say, what are you talking about? That article on Vulture was really nice. And, you'll say, I'm kind of in a bind or trap. And you'll be right.
It's not a parent trap. This is a parent trap. And it's a giant pit. And Ali Farinakian's at the bottom of it.
By the way, fun fact from someone I know who worked on It's Complicated. I direct Head to Toe in Kashmir. Brett, let's play a game.
I've had my bearings my whole goddamn life.
The first game we got for you is called Dagobah or Santa Barbara, and I'm not a Star Wars fan, so I don't know if I'm pronouncing that first word right. But we'll just say it looks like Dagobah.
No, Dagobah. The word starts with Dago.
Oh. Not a Dagobah.
So Dagobah or Santa Barbara, and in this game, Nancy will state a fact about either the planet Dagobah or the city of Santa Barbara, California, which was the location of It's Complicated, and it's Watto and George, and Watto and George are competing against each other. Whoever answers correctly first gets a point. Actually, you know what? Let's alternate. Let's alternate here. So we'll go back and forth. And is Patrick a competitor in this as well, or just a spectator?
Brett's choice.
All right, Patrick, you are simply a spectator, but you are free to comment at your leisure as to what's going on.
Great.
So Watto and George back and forth.
While you guys are playing the game, he'll be busy giving a wank to a Muppet.
What is going? I knew the Muppets when they were lined in ermine. They since got it's all fast fashion.
Nick, I'm glad you're a fan, though.
Fan of what?
Me, apparently. You seem to know a lot about me, Nick.
You're half...
unexpected.
You're like the love child of Jar Jar Binks and the guy from The National.
Nick, you're terrible.
So let's play Dagobah or Santa Barbara.
I say it. You wrote it, Nancy.
Dagobah.
I think we should put Nick against Watto.
Okay, so Nick versus Watto in Dagobah.
Because we both know what women want.
Oh, Watto.
Should
you
I
remind
say
me of my ex-husband?
Should I say Watto women want?
Now, Watto, I can kind of read your thoughts.
Yeah.
This is what I was setting up what seems like 10 minutes ago.
Look, this forces is a little bit stronger than I thought it would be.
Yeah. Watto's got a lot of thoughts going around in the noggin.
Yeah. I'm reading one thought you're saying is, yeah, I agree you should get replaced, Patrick.
Oh, my God.
So here we go.
I mean, Watto can do whatever he wants. Yeah, let's play, Brett. Let's play.
Watto loves women.
Watto loves women.
He loves women.
Dagobah or Santa Barbara?
It's one of those things
Nancy,
where he will want to go down on a woman, and it's not for reciprocity. It's just what he wants to do.
I don't have genitalia. There's nothing in it for me.
But that's not the point. It seems like that's like first move.
Yes,
it seems like
it's yes.
I got that sense.
It's what Watto wants.
Yeah.
Dagobah or Santa Barbara? Question number 1, and this is Watto. This is Watto versus Nick. Is that what we landed on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
action.
Watto versus Nick. First question to you, Watto.
Hold on, mate.
Yep. Sorry.
Nancy's got something to say.
Yeah. Sorry, Nancy. Please.
Yeah, I got something to say. Remind me. Give me a hint.
You want to change the participants?
Yes. Remind me how I want to change them, Daddy.
Do you want
Jeeves?
You want to pit these two against each other?
Sure.
And I'm sorry, when you say these two, we're talking about I know you can't read my mind, but it is I need a little when you say these two. I can read it.
There's nothing there.
Oh, Nick, you're terrible.
That's good. I got it. That's good.
You wrote it.
You're Nick at the beginning of the movie, not the end, and not even the middle.
You wrote it.
I know, but I didn't get screenplay credit. Isn't that generous?
How about it is all 3 members of George Lucas Talk Show competing against each other. First question goes to George Lucas. Is this Dagobah or Santa Barbara? Has a delightful farmer's market on Tuesdays. Is that Dagobah or Santa Barbara, George Lucas?
It's definitely Dagobah.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect.
Nope. Sorry,
what's the farmer's market situation?
Brett, we didn't show it because it would have completely derailed Empire Strikes Back. But there was a scene where it was Tuesday on Dagobah, and Yoda, he starts leaving his little home, and Luke's like, "Where are you going?" And Yoda's like, "Need to know you not." And he follows him, and Luke sees Yoda go to the farmer's market, and it says, you see it on the screen. We filmed this. You see it on the screen that it's Tuesday. Now, maybe there's one in Santa Barbara as well, but if anything, they
Monday,
probably took...
Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. And on Saturday, you can get the cutest radishes.
I should have clarified. We're just using the filmed, the filmed footage, the actual filmed canon of Star Wars, not extended universe or imagined universe.
None of these backsies you're always
I'm
doing,
just talking,
slapping new things in.
I'm just talking about. Well, first of all, Empire isn't finished. The only Star Wars film that I finished is Episode 4, and you can see that on Disney Plus, McClunky. But Empire Strikes Back, I'm still working on it. And I might even put the farmer's market scene back in, and then I'll see if Disney will upload it.
I like to go to the farmer's market. I say, what's good? And then I take, you know what I mean? Like, and then you say, oh, what's good? And you go home. Oh, I think I'll just make a perfect roast chicken.
Yeah. When I go to the farmer's market, I bring my knife. Slice open a cantaloupe. Make sure it's fresh.
So incorrect. Sorry, George, that was incorrect.
Then I walk away.
Incorrect.
Then I walk away. I don't even
say
pay
that,
for
but
it.
it's just not true, Brett.
Right. So for the purposes of this game, 0 points for George Lucas there. Watto, you're up next. Dagobah or Santa Barbara, mostly covered in swamps and bogs. Mostly covered in swamps and bogs. Is that Dagobah or Santa Barbara, California?
It is Santa Barbara, California.
I'm so sorry, Watto. That is thoroughly incorrect. That is Dagobah. The answer for that one was Dagobah.
Brett, you are wrong. You are wrong. You clearly have not spent enough time in the Santa Barbara dating scene if you think it is not covered in swamps and bogs. That's all I'm going to say to you, and I will not expand upon that point.
Well, I hate to correct you, but I am a seasoned veteran of the Central Coast of California. I've been up and down many times. It's not just Santa Barbara.
Right.
My daughter has
Cayoca,
a Finsta.
Paso Robles.
My daughter has a Finsta. Guess what's on my daughter's Finsta? 3 words. Right-wing memes.
Next question it goes to Patrick. So far, no one has scored a point in Dagobah or Santa Barbara.
Okay.
No one has scored a point. 0-0. Patrick, your question is: you can get a great Sunday brunch at the Biltmore Hotel in this city. Is that Santa Barbara, California, or Dagobah?
I think that's Santa Barbara, Brett.
Wrong.
That is correct. Patrick, 1 point for Patrick.
Oh, look at this.
That's
Look
great.
at this.
There
If
you
this
go.
See,
isn't-
you gave it away because Dagobah's a planet and not a city, Brett. So you sort of gave it away. In the
regular meat
Yeah.
cute, these two.
But-
Thick as thieves, Nick. Thick as
But Brett-
thieves, Nick.
But Brett, there is a Biltmore Hotel on Dagobah.
Okay. And I also did not know.
So-
I don't know what the hell Dagobah is. So me saying a city doesn't necessarily imply
Brit, you don't know Dagobah? That's the one that little green fella's from. Yoho.
Yo-ho.
Old Yoho, not the new one.
Yoho Sebastian Bach.
What?
Brett, what was that?
You can't cut that, Brett. You have to leave that one in.
No, sorry.
What was that?
Brett
Sorry, it was more
knows
of an intake
what
of breath.
I like that
Dude.
joke. I thought
man.
it would.
More
I thought
like
that joke was
an
a
intake.
right
More
ripper.
like an intake of Brett. More like an intake of Brett. That's what we're asking for.
Brett, if you don't have anything funny to say, don't say anything at all.
I know it's disappointing to not have scored a point in the game about your own canonical universe, but we'll march on with
Brett,
round 2.
if you don't have anything funny to say, you should say that thing you said just now about Yoho Sebastian Bach. Like, that's a good default thing. If you don't have anything to say, just say that. And you'll be the talk of the town.
One time I had an orgasm just thinking about Spanish tile.
Round 2, the final round of Dagobah or Santa Barbara. Right now, Patrick's in the lead at 1-0. But in this round, the second round, all questions are worth
40 points.
2 points. So
40.
5 points. Thank you. 5 points.
40.
Oh, sorry.
40 points. 40 points.
I heard 40.
Like the number of ounces in Nick's Foster can.
In Nick's Foster Wallace.
And
right?
Brett, just because I'm having
Nancy.
a hard time
Nancy.
keeping count.
What?
Hang on, Watto. Hang on.
What?
Watto. Nancy,
you
what did
know
you
me,
just say?
I'm infinitely jesting. I can't help
was-
it. I'm a comedy writerix.
That was Brett level, Nancy.
I'm funny, and I'm a woman, and I'm divorced, and I'm over 30. Calm down.
Hey, toilet boy.
everybody calm down,
You don't
please.
talk to Nancy that way.
Right.
You scrub the loo with that beard.
Round 2 of Dagobah or Santa Barbara. All the questions are worth 40 points. We'll start back with George, who is in last place currently, tied for last place with 0 points. This question is, when I was there last week, I ran into Dennis Franz at Gelson's. When I was there last week, I ran into Dennis Franz at Gelson's.
Well, I'm not quite sure how to answer this one because Dagobah is a fictional place. I've never been there. But also is the, I mean, I was on the set where we created it, but am I the I in this question, or is it you, Brett?
Alex Cordellis is.
Right.
Alex
Staff
Cordellis
writer.
is the I.
Is the I.
Nancy Meyers, staff writer.
All right. So I'm going to say it was probably Santa Barbara because unless he went into a world of imagination.
Oh,
I'm
I
wearing
just
a
need a
bathing
final
suit.
answer. Just need a final answer
I gave you my final answer.
with conditions. I just need an unconditional final answer.
You want an unconditional final answer?
Yeah. No caveats or asterisks. Just what's your final answer?
McClunky.
No caveats. a play by Diane Keaton's character, Erica, in Something's Gotta Give.
Sorry, George Lucas, that's incorrect. The correct answer is Santa Barbara.
Right.
Santa Barbara.
And I did say Santa Barbara.
Diane Keaton hates showing off an inch of flesh.
What about a movie where her wardrobe gets hit by lightning? It comes to life.
Oh, that's good.
I love that idea. It becomes, or it drops its hairdryer in the bathtub.
Yeah.
You already used that, Nancy. Sorry you already used that plot point.
Well, George Lucas uses things all the dang time.
Yeah, this guy's always got a giant tennis ball in the air that's blowing up other planets.
It's true.
Now we got a bigger one this time. Now there's two of them. Look out. A giant ball's coming at you. That's not a moon. That's a giant ball.
I have to admit, I did edit together, and this is obviously just for personal use, but I did do a special edition of What Women Want where he drops the hairdryer in the bathtub, and that's just the end of the movie. And I retitled it, What Most People Want.
Oh, that's mean.
I think it's pretty good, but it's too short to be a it's too short to be a feature.
I bet that makes you laugh. Ha ha ha. But the domestic gross was $182 million in a worldwide of $374 million. And you know how much it cost me? $70 million.
Yeah.
Bloop, bleep. I'm a robot. No, I'm not. I'm a woman.
Nancy, I don't know if I've ever told you this, but I was so mad at you and really mad at myself because Something's Gotta Give was the working title for almost every Star Wars film that I made. Because it works on all of them. It was always sort of, maybe the next one will be called that, because I always felt like that was the fundamental frustration that the characters in that universe were having, which is just, we're at a breaking point here. Something's got to give.
I saw one of your movies.
Which one?
The first
Captain
one
EO?
with Carrie Fisher.
Oh, A New Hope 4?
What? The one that came out in 1977.
Yeah, episode 4, A New Hope.
I think you're thinking of Shampoo, Nancy. I think you're
sometimes
thinking of Shampoo.
Sometimes people will just call it 4 for short. They'll just say, you know what? I love 4.
My husband used to yell 4, and then he'd hit a golf ball, and things didn't work out, and so I'm divorced. Big deal.
My first wife, Marcia, used to say, I want foreplay, and so I would go and I would get the action figures for A New Hope, and I'd get out the play sets, and she'd be furious with me. And
I'll bet George is as bad at, you know what, as Watto is enthusiastic about it.
Yeah, baby.
You're right. I'll tell you what. I think you're probably right, because when you said you know what, I honestly thought I have no idea. I do not know what.
Watto always gets an A for effort.
Nancy, you should do one of these space movies.
Like what? What should they be doing? Like
like
the one where Matt Damon planted potatoes in his own shit?
No, I honestly, if I was, I mean, I'm retired. I'm not in the game anymore, Nancy, but I would suggest you should do a science fiction epic called Counter Space.
Oh.
And it's just about a kitchen in space, a big space kitchen.
Oh my God.
And
I'm
there's another galaxy,
puzzle, but I'm getting,
yeah. Where you just could have like some aliens who are coming to take everyone's kitchens and replace them with like very acceptable functional kitchens that aren't at all aesthetically pleasing.
I love the title. I hate what you're doing with it. For me, it would be about a counter that was so big I could put my cookie jars on it. By the way, you know what I keep in my cookie jars? Pills. I could keep my blender, my KitchenAid. I could keep and then I'd still have enough to make chocolate croissants at 3 a.m.
I'd like a job on this movie. Counter Space. Knife consultant.
Well, you're helpful at identifying what is and isn't a knife.
Someone would bring over a ladle and I'd say, that's not a knife.
Right.
This is a knife.
Are we we still playing the game?
We
Brett?
are in fact round two, halfway through round two, almost halfway through round two of Dagobah or Santa Barbara. The next question goes to you, Watto. You are also
and, Brett, I'm sorry, I'm just a little confused. I've been trying to keep score at home.
Yes.
Who won the round where for 10 minutes everyone went back and forth on who was or was not playing the game in what configuration? Because it felt like that should be a higher point count round.
The audience won on that one.
That's an excellent question, Watto. The current score, believe it or not, is Patrick has 1, George Lucas has 0, and Watto, you also have 0, but you now have a chance to win 40 points if you correctly answer this question.
Okay.
Is this Dagobah or Santa Barbara home to many creatures such as bog wings and swamp slugs? Is that Dagobah or Santa Barbara, California?
I mean, it feels like you're setting me up for like a Karnak joke here, but I'll answer honestly because I want to win. The answer is Dagobah.
That is the correct answer. Watto has zoomed into the lead with 40
Who's
points.
Karnak?
Wow.
Is Karnak one of the aliens in one of your movies, George?
Yeah.
No, Karnak is what a lot of the characters had in American Graffiti, a real knack for driving and working on old automobiles from the classic early 1960s era.
Sometimes I have to wait behind Jay Leno at the petrol tank, and he takes forever.
Yeah, he's a car guy too.
I know.
I only saw one of this guy's movies.
Jay Leno?
No, George.
Oh,
Which
when you
one,
said you
Nick?
only saw one of Jay Leno's movies, I thought he must be talking about Collision Course, which is usually available on HBO Max.
with
But
him.
for some reason,
Collision Course is Jay Leno's worst nightmare. It's about a car that I assume, based on the title, it's about a car that runs into another car.
yeah. Oh, it's him and Pat Morita.
Yeah. No, it's about his even greater nightmare. Another comedian trying to siege stage time from him.
Tom, what movie did you see of George's? Nick, what
Nick.
movie did you see of George's?
I was getting a windy watching Captain EO.
Yeah, I produced that and wrote the story for it.
I took my daughter to see that. I took my daughter to see that, and she said, one day I'm going to have a TikTok.
Oh, that's great. I had a TikTok in a movie that I helped out on called Return to Oz.
Oh, that was fabulous. That was what encouraged me to get electroshock therapy for fun.
Faruja Balk.
A lot of people balked at that film.
Balk, 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 says a chicken before I roast it perfectly.
Hey, Brett, what's my question?
Round two.
Why?
The conclusion.
Here's a question I got for you. Why? You have 5 hours to answer. Why?
And the final question of Dagobah or Santa Barbara, and Patrick, this is for the win. You are currently losing 40 to 1. Watto is in the lead, but as this question is worth 40 points, you have the chance to win here. Dagobah or Santa Barbara, a hot and humid world, a hotbed of life. Does that describe Dagobah or Santa Barbara?
Hold on 1 second, Brett. Can I just call a one moment timeout?
Yes. You are in the lead, though. Is that this isn't your question?
I think Watto wants us to stop counting the votes is what
That's
Watto
not,
wants.
no, absolutely never. I believe in a fair competition. I just want to say one thing to Patrick off the clock before he answers. Patrick, consider your answer very carefully.
Yeah.
If you
Watto,
know
how
what's
bad do
good
you-
for you, take
Well, how bad do you
the
want this,
fall.
Watto? That's the question.
This fall. I want this more than you could ever know.
What's it worth to you, though?
Here's how badly I want it. If you get the question right, you're fired.
Oh, no. I don't. Okay, I didn't.
Brett,
know if you had
look,
that
they
power.
can fire him.
Time in.
We have a different relation.
Yeah, you've seen my contract.
Yeah. Wait, can I take a timeout and talk to Brett really quick?
Sure. Yep.
Sure.
I'm always available to you, Patrick. For any
Wait, we're
advice or-
directors. We're directors. With this woman. Cut.
Oh, this is good. That was good. Hey, Brett.
Yeah, what can I do for
what's your gut say on this?
To be absolutely honest, my gut says this question. I chose this question because it can go either way.
Yeah.
And so whatever you answer, I am going to say that the answer is the opposite of what you said, and then give the game to Watto.
Oh, okay.
Nancy. Nancy.
No, I appreciate that.
Yeah, just to be completely
Nancy.
candid.
What?
All right, back
Nancy.
to one. Back to one.
Back to one.
Last looks.
Back
last
to one.
looks.
Sorry.
Last look.
Can I just take a
First looks.
Can I take a quick timeout with Brett quickly, just before?
Cut.
Brett,
Yes.
big fan of your work. Want to give you the heads up. We might have a producer opening on the George Lucas Talk Show, considering how the next couple of minutes play out. So just consider that and how you award points in the next question.
Got it. Appreciate it. I
Cool.
appreciate the insights. Thank
Cool.
you.
Nancy,
Yeah.
what about a What Women Want sequel where I fall in a tub filled with Star Wars merch and then I can hear what guys like Patrick are thinking. We call it What a Cuck Wants.
Oh, Nick, it's good to hear you laugh, Nick. It's good to hear it.
I haven't laughed this much since Helen Hunt was looking at me package in the movie. Nancy, you wrote a great scene that day.
Thanks, but I wasn't credited. Isn't that generous?
So, Patrick, your question is: a hot and humid world, a hotbed of life, is that Dagobah or Santa Barbara, California?
Geez, Brett, I don't know. I'm gonna have to say, let's say Santa Barbara, Brett.
Santa Barbara. I am very sorry. The correct answer is Dagobah. Dagobah, a hot and humid world, a hotbed of life, and that gives this game. The winner of this game is Watto.
Yeah, baby.
Watto wins.
Congratulations, Watto.
41 to 1 to 0.
Greetings, mortals. I am the Lord thy God, King of the universe, creator of space. We don't need the vocal effects. Can we lose that?
That's my actual voice. Okay, great. Hello, I am the Lord thy God, King of the universe, creator of space and time, or as I prefer to be known these days, at the tweet of God. For over a decade, I've entertained my over 6.2 million followers with my wit, misanthropy, and oft-stated regret I created any and all of you. Well, now I'm taking my hilarious blend of contempt and disgust from the Twitterverse to the podcast verse with my new show, the predictably named Godcast, premiering Wednesday, January 27th on Forever Dog. On Godcast, I'll be opening up my infinite mind about everything from politics to the nature of reality to this week's point spreads to how much longer I'll save the Queen to that weird new growth on your neck. I'll answer prayers, take spiritual phone calls, surprise people with live eternal damnations, justify the platypus, and even explain the Bible, which is not at all easy to do. Plus, every episode, I'll be interviewing a guest, either alive, like Stephen Colbert, Zooey Deschanel, and Lin-Manuel Miranda, or dead, like Moses, Amelia Earhart, and Lizzie Borden. Joining me for it all will be my adorable sidekick, the 18 to 34 demo appealing Joan of Arc.
Hi, God.
Hi, Joan. You excited for the show?
Sure am. Hey, could you put me out now?
Not now, maybe soon.
Sounds great.
New episodes of Godcast will premiere every Wednesday, so be sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Or you can, and will, go to hell. Godcast, from the creator of At the Tweet of God, and everything else.
Godcast is brought to you by NetSuite, the world's #1 cloud business system.
Listen, I love learning. I'm learning all the time. I write that down. I'll use it. I hear things. I use them later. It's called Write What You Know. That's why my movies are about divorced women. I'm divorced.
Write What You Know would be a good name for a movie.
That's true.
But a creative writing teacher falls in love with a student who writes romance.
Keep going, Nick.
And the teacher gives notes about how the love affair in the story should go. But it's the love affair between the two of them.
So?
And in real life, it plays out as it plays out on the page.
I love it.
I'm
going to write it.
Can I give some casting suggestions?
Please.
Tom Sizemore.
Robert Blake. I'm dying to work
Robert
with
Blake.
I'm
Robert
dying to work with Bobby. Can I please say that Bobby is my dream?
What about this for a poster? Robert Blake Lively.
We could do that as the intern too.
The intern too. Robert
The intern
Blake.
too. She won't be alive by the credits.
And he's like, look here, Charlie Potatoes. I'm here to run your life.
Annie Hathaway wants to be called Annie, and no one seemed to care when she announced that.
You don't call her Ann.
Well, it's a hard knock life for her.
It's kind of like Sarah Jessica Parker. She says, don't call me Sarah. You can call me Sarah Jessica. You can call me Sarah Jessica Parker. You can call me SJ. You can call me SJP. Don't call me Sarah. It's not my name.
Cool.
You'd almost think someone worked with her.
I'll bet that experience was as smooth as cashmere.
We've got one more segment on the Nancy Meyers Talk Show. If you want to go ahead and get into that, or at least intro
Brett, who
here.
won the game, Brett?
Watto was the landslide winner, 41-1-0 of Dagobah, Santa Barbara.
A blowout.
That's great.
Then this next,
I got a blowout.
You know who else had a blowout was Delta Burke in What Women Want. That hair was huge.
Here are the women I like. Rita Wilson. That's it. Rita's a lot of fun. She'll bring over spanakopita. You'll say, what the fuck is this? She gave me COVID. Did you know that? I got the best strain of COVID ever. It was from Rita.
The good stuff.
I said, lovely Rita. Rita made me sick with COVID. Guess what? It affected my smell. It did not affect my taste. I wear more cashmere than ever.
He's such a schmuck.
She thinks I'm a schmuck.
What does Nancy Meyers want? That is the last game right here on the Nancy Meyers Talk Show.
Last?
This is our.
I thought we were just getting started.
Well, if the last game was any indication, this one will take a solid 30 to 40 minutes to get through. So this is called What Does Nancy Meyers Want?
Like you got somewhere to be, Britt.
Yeah. Seriously.
I admit that did have a little bit of passive aggressiveness undertone to it, but I can assure you this is my favorite thing to do. My favorite thing to do during the week.
Would it kill you to order a pizza once in a while?
The way Brett looks with those glasses, the only place he's got to go is to thin out some Coke with baby laxative.
It's just a profit margin question there. I mean, it does affect your bottom line.
Well, Coke is stronger these days. Everyone knows it.
Brett, are you dressed like Princess Leia?
Having never seen Star Wars, I can't speak to that reference.
I can't tell if it's your chair or if you've styled your hair with two enormous buns at each side, like
those
Princess
are
Leia
his
Organa.
headphones.
No, yeah, these are what we call professional grade headphones, unlike what the three of you have been using, which is probably why we're getting that little echo on this episode. Oh
boy, Johann Sebastian Bach.
He's incapable of shame, George. There's no point in trying to.
Now, George, you made that guy a baby, when you did Baby Yoho, what was that all about?
Well, I didn't do that, but I did tell Jon Favreau that he should make the show more for kids. So I think
Jon Favreau,
and
from Rudy,
yeah,
Swingers,
well, the Swingers, the Maid,
the kid from Rudy.
I've got a maid.
What does Nancy Meyers want? The final game on the Nancy Meyers Talk Show, as we always conclude the Nancy Meyers Talk Show with what does Nancy Meyers want? In this game,
I'm exempt from this one because I can read her thoughts.
It's not fair.
Far from being exempt, you're actually the crucial linchpin of this game, as I'm sure you know, playing coy there. What I'm going to do is. I'm going to give you a topic. I'm going to give you a topic, and then our three contestants, George, Watto, and Patrick, you're going to guess, what does Nancy think about this topic? And then Nick will tell us what she actually thinks about the topic because he can read her thoughts. And then we will award a point to who was closest. Who was closest? So this is, what does Nancy Meyers want? Maybe a better title there is, what does Nancy Meyers think about this? So what does Nancy Meyers think about? And our first topic is...
Can I ask a quick question?
Yes.
Nick, are you done with the first Fosters? Where are we? And let's just have a little check-in.
I'm pretty
You're on the second or the first?
Deep on the first.
All right.
I did a double Cadillac margarita, and I am almost done. Should I dig into a second batch here? Okay, all right.
I think
Let
so.
me just do
what's
that.
the difference? What's the difference between a Cadillac margarita and a regular
I'm so
margarita?
glad you asked. Cadillac margarita uses reposado tequila, which is a higher grade. Much like your films are a cut above the average film, reposado tequila is a cut above the average tequila. You also use a Grand Marnier. You don't fuck around with triple sec or Cointreau. You go straight to the Grand Marnier. So it is really, as the name suggests, the Cadillac of margaritas.
Have you ever made a souffle?
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
With Grand Marnier or chocolate?
I mean, I've used both ingredients. I have on occasion combined them to do a Grand Marnier chocolate souffle.
How was that?
It was absolute heaven. It was almost so good that I never tried it again, so as not to tempt fate.
Sometimes I laugh at people that get joy from things like Oreos.
It's gas station food. Patrick, how many juice boxes you put down during this show?
During this show?
We couldn't help but notice that when you people do your show, you're eating so much food.
Yeah.
Watto orders something that's usually meaty.
Yes.
Fragrant.
But
yes.
And filling.
Nancy, to be fair to us, most of our shows take up the majority of the day.
So
it's one of those things
that's
where
why you eat at the beginning of them. That's why you eat at the beginning of them. You couldn't eat a half hour before they started.
Like swimming. Why don't you treat the show like going into the pool?
Show starts at the same time every week. These guys act like they just forgot to eat.
How's the margarita, How's the margarita, Brett?
That's fantastic. I'm reloaded here. Got 2 Cadillac margaritas in my skull mug. Once again, a big tribute to Nick's
Crystal Skull
mom, who was from Las Vegas,
Nick's
which is where this
mom.
mug also came from.
I got that from Fosse because Fosse, I read the Fosse book.
Nancy, can I ask you a quick question I've always wanted to ask you?
Yes, please.
Well, the first time I saw Something's Got to Give, I was delighted when we discovered that Jack Nicholson's character is the head of a hip hop album label. That was so exciting.
Drive by Records.
Such a great name and such an exciting discovery. How did you think of that? What did you base that on?
Thank you. I love writing. I based it on what I read about rap, that there are drive-bys, and I think rap is bad. So I said, how about he's a record executive? Because, as you know, I made it in, hold on, not looking at the Wikipedia or anything. I made it in 2003 when the record industry was exploding with opportunities. And I thought, wouldn't it be fun and funny if Jack Nicholson's and I call him Jack, his character had an album.
Harry Sanborn, you're talking about.
Harry Sanborn worked for a record label called Drive By Records, and he said it was hip hop, but I know it was rap.
This kid's a fan. Patrick's a fan. You probably give him a job on that Counter Space movie, wiping the counter down with that
What's your
beard.
favorite of my movies?
Nancy, I was actually going through this because I think I've only seen 2 of them, Nancy.
That's not possible.
I believe I've seen It's Complicated and I've seen The Parent Trap, and I think
Father
that's it,
of
Nancy.
the Bride.
Yeah, Patrick, you have to see the Father of the Bride trilogy, Patrick.
I've never seen it. I'm excited for the third one.
The third one is on Zoom.
Oh, my favorite word.
Maybe the best trilogy. Maybe the best film trilogy of all time.
One of the greatest.
It's certainly in
world builders.
contention. It's certainly one of the best father-based trilogies.
Yes. Can I have some more white wine, Daddy?
What Does Nancy Meyers Want is our final game on the Nancy Meyers Talk Show. And just to repeat the rules real quick, I'm going to give you a topic. Our contestants, George, Watto, and Patrick, will guess what does Nancy Meyers want or think is probably the better term here. What does she think about this topic? And then Nick will tell you what she actually thinks, and then we'll judge who is the closest. So the first topic is Diane Keaton. Diane Keaton. What does Nancy Meyers really think about Diane Keaton? And Patrick will start with you. We'll go in reverse order here. Patrick will start with you. What does Nancy really think, truly think, in her heart of hearts?
And Nick will tell you if you're right or not.
And this is not what she says out loud, but what does she really think inside her head, deep down, about Diane Keaton?
I'm going to err on the side of you being a good person, Nancy, and I'm going to say that you like Diane Keaton. You like her. You think she's a fun person. You like working with her.
Likes Diane Keaton, is a fun person, enjoys working with her. Watto, what do you say?
No.
We'll do each person will answer, and then Nick will tell us the reality, and we'll decide who's closest. Watto, you're next.
I think Nancy is thinking of 3 words when you say Diane Keaton. Talented but overpaid.
And overdressed.
Hey now.
Maybe take off one of the vests.
And again, this is what Nancy is saying, but what we're guessing is what she's actually thinking. So
that's why I didn't guess the overdressed part, because I knew she was going to say it out loud.
George Lucas, what do you think Nancy Meyers really thinks about Diane Keaton?
I think she appreciates and enjoys her as an actor, but I think she finds her clown paintings off-putting.
And now over to Nick. Nick, knowing Nancy's thoughts inside and out, what does Nancy really think about Diane Keaton?
I'm giving that point to Watto.
Point to Watto.
What?
Wish she'd take a couple layers off.
So Watto is the closest to Nancy's actual thoughts there.
Yeah. Well, is this something I was supposed to be doing here?
Yeah.
Are there different answers? I can't find my other laptop guide.
I just wanted to add that I think her neck could be a little tighter because mine is as tight as a drum.
So Watto gets a point there. Watto is closest to what Nancy actually thinks about Diane Keaton.
What is it? Is it based on research that you've done, Brett?
No, this is based on Nick knowing Nancy's innermost thoughts, based on his telepathic abilities.
She's my muse. She's my muse.
If you haven't seen What Women Want, Nick dropped a hairdryer in the bathtub and thus gained complete telepathic abilities into the thoughts of all women on the planet. Yeah.
And if you haven't seen Something's Gotta Give, she plays a playwright. Wink, wink.
Next up, next question? What does Nancy Meyers really think about Baby Yoda? Baby Yoda. What does Nancy Meyers really think about Baby Yoda? We'll go in reverse order this time. George Lucas, what does Nancy Meyers really think about Baby Yoda?
I don't think that she thinks that is what women want.
Watto, what does Nancy Meyers think about Baby Yoda?
I'm going to go out on a limb here, and my answer is that Nancy Meyers does not think about Baby Yoda. This question is non-applicable. That's my answer.
And Patrick, you might want to play a Price is Right strategy here. What does Nancy Meyers think about Baby Yoda?
Talented but overpaid.
TBO.
So we have the three answers are Baby Yoda is not what women want. Baby Yoda is not something Nancy Meyers thinks about at all, or Baby Yoda is talented but overpaid. Nick, what does Nancy Meyers really think about Baby Yoda?
Hold on, let me read her mind. Yeah, she thinks he's a right little tugger.
He's right as always.
I think that's maybe Patrick is closest there. I think.
Like Patrick.
Yeah.
Can I point out, Brett, I believe I should get some residual points on Patrick's correct answer because it was my answer in the first round.
No, well, but didn't you take the butt out?
What was the first round?
I did not. Talented but overpaid. I was the original TBO.
Give him some points.
TBO.
Yeah,
Give him
that's a true point.
Also, Patrick, Watto always takes the butt out.
You know, I sometimes get acupuncture, but they use the COVID vaccine instead of needles. I've got a whole freezer full of them. In my next movie, Meryl Streep gets a little high and she just takes out all these COVID vaccines and just squirts them into the air.
Nancy, I've sent you multiple emails about my immunocompromised grandmother. Asked you multiple times if you had any inside information on getting the vaccine, and you said no. So that's
nope.
Very interesting there. Okay. Second round. Sorry, Watto. I did not hear or remember your question, but so the points coming out of round one are Patrick 1, Watto 0, George Lucas 0.
Britt.
Wait, no, Watto had 1 from the first round.
Are you guys okay? You haven't had a snack in 2 hours.
You're right. I'm sorry. I am.
Yeah. Brett, give him.
Come on, man.
Give
I am
Watto
roughly
5
3
points.
Cadillac margaritas in out of 4. So I
wanted to make
there.
sure they were okay because I haven't seen Griffin open a bowl of something that you could see stinks from here.
You mean Nancy? You mean Watto, Nancy?
Yeah.
I ain't seen Watto eat the entire contents of Cat's Deli.
You know, I was born a Jew.
So going into round 3, sorry, round 3.
You go to Katz's, there's a sign out. Sorry, nothing left. Watto was here. It's showdown.
It's almost like he's doing a demonstration. For fucking Sesame Street.
It's
hey,
like
boys and girls, ever wonder what Jews eat? Well, wonder no more.
Look, representation matters. You know that as well as anyone, Nancy.
I do. I'm so tired of seeing white women who aren't rich being on the dang screen.
Round 3 of What Does Nancy Meyers Want and or Think? Watto and Patrick, you're tied 1 point apiece. George Lucas has yet to score a single point in any of the games we've played.
But you should point out that I'm a billionaire while you're saying that, Brett.
Billionaire George Lucas has yet to score a single point in any of the games we've played.
Takes a little bit of the sting out.
I made a lot of money. My own movies made a lot of money.
I made
Round
a fair
3
amount of money working at that ad agency.
You got the Nick, remember when you got the Nike account? I was so proud of you.
Nike for women.
Nick, you remember when you understood the thoughts of a female dog and that was never explained or explored?
When she was like, I gotta poop. I gotta make a poop.
Yeah, that we kind of left it at that, didn't we?
It's a world of potential for the sequel.
Round 3, the question is, and having not seen Star Wars, I don't fully understand this question, but the question for round 3 is...
We get it. You haven't seen Star Wars. We get it.
Cool, bro. Cool story, bro.
Yeah. You also, I bet you don't have a TV either.
Yeah, don't own a TV, or you just watch PBS and Discovery.
Yeah.
That was Chevy's answer in the 90s, and it's just as cool now.
Chevy's, don't say Chevy's. That's a restaurant. Watto will, his head's going to explode.
No, you don't need to tell me that. You don't need to tell me that Chevy's is a restaurant. It's almost as good as Chili's.
Question 3. In What Does Nancy Meyers Want and or Think? The question is, did Han shoot first? Did Han shoot first? What does Nancy think? George Lucas, we're going to start with you.
I don't think that I don't think anyone thinks that. So I can't imagine that Nancy. I don't think anyone thinks that Han shot first. We've seen him. He didn't do it. We saw that Greedo shot first, and Han was just reacting because Greedo says McClunky, and then Han thinks about it, and this is all in a split second. But it's as if
Watto,
time
what
stands
is your answer for this question? Did Han shoot first?
Crush you like a bug.
Yes, my answer is in terms of what Nancy thinks. The best course of action is to always shoot Catherine Hahn last. Because on the set of The Holiday, Nancy learned, even though Han is ready on take one. She's such a brilliant improviser. You want to give her some time on everyone else's coverage to come up with the best lines so that you can use that last.
Thank you, Watto. And Patrick, what do you think? In Nancy's mind, did Han shoot first?
I think Nancy has the same answer in her mind that she would say out loud, which is, I do not care.
And we now hand it over to Nick for the definitive answer.
The definitive answer is wine, wine, wine. Gimme, gimme, glug, glug, wine.
I think I got that. I think that's me.
What are you doing? You're saying that you got the point before Brett makes a ruling?
I think so.
This guy's unbelievable.
So just to review our answers real quick, George Lucas gave us sort of a incoherent canonical answer. Watto, what was your answer again? I'm sorry, I can't remember.
Spoken like a man who has not seen Star Wars. Of course it's incoherent because you have failed to engage with the culture in which you live. You live in California and you haven't seen Star Wars. Shame on you. Half of the
what?
Shame on you, Brett.
This is a multi-track recording, so we'll be taking out those little bits there. Watto, what was your answer? I can't remember.
Point to Watto.
My answer was you always shoot Catherine Hahn's coverage last because she gets funnier every take.
And Patrick, what was your answer?
Mine was she doesn't care, and that's what she says in her head and in her mouth.
No, but you have to include as part of his answer the arrogance of him saying,
What about
I think
my
I got the point.
Yeah.
What about my mouth?
Good point, Watto. This is a question where I have to go for tone because content is useless. So in terms of tone, I'm going to give this point to Watto. Tonally, it seemed the most in line with what Nancy was actually thinking, which was wine, 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 glug, glug, glug.
Keanu Reeves plays Dr. Julian Mercer in Something's Gotta Give. And I'll tell you something, he doesn't shoot first.
Imagine you got a disease and that's who you see as your doctor. You're like, I think you're
like, your father has cancer. Oh, no, don't worry. Here comes Dr. Julian Mercer to explain your options.
And be like, yeah, he had a good run.
So Watto is winning 2 points to 1. Final round of what does Nancy Meyers want and or think? Points in this round, as always, in the final round are worth 40 points, thus nullifying the previous rounds. And here we go. The final question is, what does Nancy Meyers want or think about Pasadena, the city of Pasadena? What does Nancy Meyers think about the city of Pasadena? Patrick, we'll start with you. What does Nancy Meyers think about Pasadena?
Looking at the Wikipedia page for Pasadena, I would say too many people, and it's not a real part of Los Angeles. That's what I would say.
Well, it's not Los Angeles.
Nancy, easy. We don't want to give anything away there.
Sorry.
And Watto, what does Nancy Meyers think in her heart of hearts about Pasadena?
Sure. Looking at the Wikipedia page, I would say Nancy is thinking Pasadena is a city in Los Angeles County, California, United States, 11 miles, 18 kilometers northeast of downtown Los Angeles. It is the most populous city in the primary cultural center of San Gabriel Valley. With its substantial downtown area, observers consider it either a suburb of nearby Los Angeles or as a significant urban center in its own right.
I love thinking of things in kilometers.
Thank you, Watto. And George Lucas, finally, having not seen Star Wars myself, what does Nancy Meyers think about Pasadena, California?
Okay, Brett, you promise not to cut me off?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I don't think I've cut you off previously, but I will not do it moving forward.
That's a promise?
Yes.
All right. Turmoil has engulfed the Galactic Republic. The taxation of trade routes to outlying star systems is in dispute. Hoping to resolve the matter with a blockade of deadly battleships, the greedy Trade Federation has stopped all shipping to the small planet of Naboo. While the Congress of the Republic endlessly debates this alarming chain of events, the Supreme Chancellor has secretly dispatched 2 Jedi Knights, the guardians of peace and justice in the galaxy, to settle the conflict. Captain. The captain turns to an unseen figure sitting behind her. Yes, sir? Tell them we wish to board at once. The captain looks to her view screen where Newt Gunray, a Nemoidian trade viceroy, waits for a reply. With all due respect... Oh, sorry, I have to read
Hold
this
on.
properly.
I think I'm going to shoot myself first.
George, keep going and do the voices. You have to get really into it.
Right.
Tell us the Newt Gunray voice.
With all due respect, the ambassadors for the Supreme Chancellor wish to board immediately. Oh, yes. Yes, of course.
I'm trying to mute
As
George,
you
but
know.
George is somehow is refusing to be muted. I don't know how this is happening. This has never happened before.
Brett, I don't know if you know what I'm doing here, but because you haven't seen Star Wars, I was going to read all 6 movies to you as my answer, because you're clearly not going to give me any points. You've been gunning against me this entire
Nancy,
time.
I'm very sorry. I'm trying to mute George,
Can
but
I say
he's not
something?
letting
Can
me
I
mute
say
him.
something? Those movies are bad. I'm sorry. They just are. They're not good. I don't like them. I like stories about people, divorced women, rich divorced women, things I can relate to. I think Star Wars is boring and bad.
Wait,
the end.
Nancy, are you talking about General Leia Organa? Because by the end of the Star Wars Skywalker saga, she's a rich divorced woman.
All right, Hall & Oates.
Right. I also, I think to a certain extent, and I think what I just read out as my answer, you might think it's boring, but for one thing, Star Wars is not for girls. I wrote it for boys. But also, and I think this is fair to say, it's complicated.
I'm flattered you find me a girl, George.
Oh, just like all women, I just use those words. I'm 76, so I'm gonna not always have.
Well,
the right
I'm
terms.
probably older, but you wouldn't know it to look at my neck.
Oh, I don't have a neck. I'm jealous.
It's as tight as a snare drum and
Nancy.
a lot wetter.
Nancy, here's a movie idea. It's called Who's My Daddy? And it stars Patrick Cotnoir, right?
I'm listening.
It's kind of like a male Mamma Mia, but it's
Papa Pia?
Papa Pia. We call it Papa Pia. Papa Pia : Who's My Daddy? And all 4 of the Impractical Jokers have sex with the same woman.
Well, Sal and I go way back.
Nick, is there any way to make this a trilogy? I propose for the 3rd film, and I think this one would be a hit because everybody loves babies. Baby had a diarrhea.
That's Baby Boom. You're thinking of Baby Boom. She moves to Vermont and makes baby food. Spoiler alert.
The answer to that question about Pasadena.
Yes. Yeah, thank you.
Is that Nancy once got a chest of drawers from an assistant who picked it up near Pasadena.
That's true.
And she didn't like it.
No, I didn't like it.
She
I
didn't
said,
let it in
return
the house.
You son of a. What?
You traded it back. You traded it back in.
Would we say this is a long story that happened in Pasadena? Sort of a long story that we're getting a short version of?
It sounds like it was a story about a trade and trading something back in. And my whole story was about a trade federation.
Give the point to George.
All right. The winner of the second game, what does Nancy Meyers think, is George Lucas with a score of 40 to 1 to 2 to 1, 40 to 2 to 1.
This chest of
some would
drawers,
say a
you could have gotten
landslide
it
win.
at Pier 1, this piece of shit. You could have gotten it at West Elm. Blah!
Congratulations, George Lucas. You win the what does Nancy Meyers want and or think?
Sometimes I take the cooking oil that's left on my oven burners. I let it just drip into a bottle and I throw it at Williams Sonoma. I say, here, sell this.
You know what I do when I go to Williams Sonoma?
I
go to the cookware. And then I say, you call that a knife? That's not a knife. This is a knife.
Oh my God. What is the twist?
It's surprising each time.
Talk about a little twist.
Nick's got a great body. You know, I said, you got to show it in this movie.
You had about
and his
15 of the women in it kept talking about my body over and over.
I said make it 16, but then one was on the cutting room floor. You know who that was? Judy Greer.
I saved her life in that movie.
Judy Greer's life in a lot of things.
Nancy, can I ask you another question about your process?
You'll never get to see these again, Michael.
What's the question, Brett?
Sorry, there's a point in What Women Want where Nick there is thumbing through a couple CDs. He thumbs through Alanis Morissette.
Fiona Apple's Win the Pawn, ...
Fiona Apple, Alanis Morissette, Crooked Little Pill, or Jagged Little Pill, sorry there. And
Paula Cole. It was Paula Cole. Paula Cole.
Yeah, it was Judy Greer's that were crooked.
And
my favorite.
Meredith Brooks. What made you go with Meredith Brooks out of the Fiona Apple, Alanis Morissette, and Meredith Brooks trio there?
She called me back. I went to Lilith Fair. I said, is this like I've been to lots of fairs. I've been to the coffee fair, the chocolate fair. One time I went to a Rosemary fair.
Scarborough Fair.
And I said, oh, she's talented. She could use a leg shave. Anyway, long story short, I offered her lawyer cash. No, I offered her lawyer Bitcoin. I had access to crypto before anyone knew what crypto was.
This was 1994. That is well ahead of the times.
1994. I said, do you want some fat crypto? Meredith Brooks was the first one to say, you bet I do. I said, I'm a bitch. I'm a mother. She said, I'm a lover. And the next thing you know, she was in the movie. And then I used Come My Lady, Come My Lady for the beginning of Something's Gotta Give by Crazy Town, my favorite
Butterfly
band.
by Crazy Town, one of the great music choices in cinema
Sometimes
history.
people ask me where I hail from, and I say Crazy Town. I say population me.
I've been hanging out a bit with Shifty Shell Shock from Crazy Town. Good guy.
Inaugurated the shoulder blade tattoos, I believe, was one of the.
If you saw the tattoos I had on my inner thighs, you would never stop throwing up.
I think that's about enough.
So today's winners in the Nancy Meyers Talk Show are George Lucas and Watto. Each won one game. So sorry, Patrick. 0 for 2.
Yeah, I get it.
Better luck next time. So excited to have you here on the Nancy Meyers Talk Show, which doubles as a game show. And thank you very much.
Well, thanks to the George Lucas Talk Show fellows, and thank you so much for coming on our show, and hopefully we'll come on your show one day. Wouldn't that be nice? If only we were invited.
Say hi to Yoho for me, both old and young.
And you can watch the George Lucas Talk Show on Sunday nights. And isn't that nice?
Do you want me to give the full plug of where people can watch it?
No.
Okay.
We'll put it in the show notes.
All right, find it in the show notes.
Click on the link in the show notes to check out the George Lucas Talk Show every Sunday over at PlanetScum, which is apparently a real thing. And
Twitch is good for this and that, but especially the George Lucas Talk Show on Sunday night.
And this will be dropping on Monday after you guys have recorded your most recent episode. So where can people catch up with the sort of the archive of the George Lucas Talk Show? Where does that rest its head?
Oh,
I'll do it. Yeah. No, they all exist on YouTube. You can go to our page, George Lucas Talk Show. If you search for it on YouTube or if you Google it, you'll be able to find them. And there's plenty of hours of content for you to watch if you really want to. I recommend searching through finding a guest that you like.
One of Scorsese's triggers.
Marty don't like content.
Yes.
Marty don't like content.
So check out the George Lucas Talk Show every week on Twitch on Sundays or on YouTube. And trust me, the Venn diagram of Double Threat and George Lucas Talk Show is basically overlapping. If you like this show, you'll love the George Lucas Talk Show. Check it out. Live on Twitch on Sundays.
Could you make that a little more half-hearted?
Sorry, yes.
Brett, just try it again. Just start from the top. Try it
when
again.
When one looks at the YouTube numbers of the George Lucas Talk Show, one is left with a sense of saying one is left with a sense of despair, as though are these all the viewers they have? And so that can't be true. So
Griffin, do you need a pickle?
Yeah.
Are you okay, Griffin? You need a pickle.
If you listen to Double Threat, you will love the George Lucas Talk Show. Tune in every Sunday on Twitch or on their YouTube channel. Links in the show notes. Hyperlinked for your convenience.
Keep stretching it, Brett. Stretch it. Keep going.
We can't wait to come on your show. When will that
And
be?
yes, and one thing that can be said about George Lucas Talk Show is their bookings are absolutely incredible, unbelievable. What this person's on? How did they do that?
They had Whoopi Goldberg on. I script doctored Sister Act.
Here's what I'll say. If we really want to pick a date, we could pick a date right here, right on the air. Sounds like a no. All right, I guess you guys, I thought you wanted to be on. I was going to give you the option.
We're done.
And may the force be with you always.
And Yoho shot first. Well, that was a fun show.
Thank you so much for listening. Thanks to the fellas of the George Lucas Talk Show for joining us. Thanks to Brett. Thanks to you. Please write us reviews on iTunes. They make a huge difference. So if you're going to say something nice about the show, we appreciate seeing it on Twitter, but we appreciate it a whole lot more if you can just write it as a quick review on iTunes. It'll really help the show.
Yes.
And what else?
And a big thanks to Alex Scordelis. Alex Scordelis, a very talented writer from Difficult People, Billy on the Street, tons of other great things. Alex wrote both of those segments that we did in the Nancy Meyers Talk Show. So funny. Thank you so much, Alex.
And tell your friends that you love the show because it's the best thing going and you know it.
Subscribe and all that jazz and make sure you check us out on social media and follow us on Twitter and Instagram where we post wacky things that are fun.
And keep listening.
And we'll be back next week with more fun stuff. And thanks again to Griffin and Connor and Patrick for joining us.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be back next week.
Yes. Thank you so much, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Forever Dog.
This has been a Forever Dog production. Executive produced by Brett Boehm, Joe Cilio, and Alex Ramsey. For more original podcasts, please visit foreverdogpodcasts.com and subscribe to our shows on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Keep up with the latest Forever Dog news by following us on Twitter and Instagram @ForeverDogTeam and liking our page on Facebook.
When you're younger, you're told no running in the house, do your homework, pick up your toys, and absolutely no sweets before dinner. But now that you're older, you can do what you want. Like deciding if you want a sweet bakery treat from Mickey D's before dinner, after, or during. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. At participating McDonald's.